Hi guys, so I finished the Boys of Tommen series and I thought I would come and talk about what I thought about all these books because literally it's my favorite series that I've read in the whole entire world. I literally think I'm gonna get a tattoo of it. Some symbolism towards this book, but that's not to say I didn't have a lot of issues with the books, especially the last three. So I decided I wanted to make a video and rant about it because literally everyone around me is tired and there's spoilers, just a warning. Okay, so I'm gonna be talking about Shannon first, and then Johnny, and then the plot of Binding and Keeping 13 overall, and I'll follow like the same two main characters and then the plot overall for all the other books too. So to start off, the reason why I love Shannon's character so much is because of the growth we saw from her. And I know this is like, oh, you probably see growth in all characters. Like that's one of the main plots of like every single book that you'll read, right? But I've never seen it done so well than it was with Shannon. Like in the beginning she had so much anxiety because she faced bullies in her old school, right? And I probably can list like 6 to 7 times where like you saw Shannon confront Bella and she was like anxious at first, but every single time she met with Bella she got a little bit more confidence to stand up for herself. And then the scene where it was like the fight scene, and by the end I've never felt so proud of a character before than I did with Shannon. Okay, now Johnny's character. I don't think anyone has anything bad to say about this character whatsoever. He was perfect from the beginning to the end. Like, obviously, every character has his faults, but he learned from his mistakes, whether it was with his sports thing. Like, I know he should have gone to the doctor way beforehand, but he realized that in the end. And also, the outbursts he had in the car with Shannon, like, those were all resolved too, and he knew he did wrong right after it happened. And when Shannon brought it up, he also addressed it. And everything he did for the Lynch family, are you joking? And his parents, like you can just tell the reason why he turned out this way was because of his beautiful parents. Okay, now what I thought about the plot of Binding and Keeping 13. I absolutely loved the plot. And the reason why I did was just because of the long scenes. You know, remember the first scene where Johnny and Shannon were in the car? I probably read that scene for like, what, like 20 something pages? I don't know, it felt like that. It was so unbelievably long, and you would think, like, that's boring. Why would I want to hear these two people talk about whatever they're talking about in a car for like God knows how long? Like, you would think you would be bored, but no. I fell in love with this book because I was able to see every single emotion that Johnny and Shannon felt in that car. And the conversations that they had were so, like, basic conversations, like stuff that you would actually talk to someone about in order to get to know them. And I feel like those conversations are missed out on a lot of fast-paced books. And so I love the long scenes. And then the bus scene too, when they're going on the field trip, when Johnny and Shannon are sitting next to each other, and the whole do you want to be my friend thing. Are you kidding me? It felt like you were literally in that bus. You were literally sitting in the back seat of that car like a creeper. Like, that's what I thought. Okay, so the first thing I want to talk about that I'm very about is that Aoife's character. She was so unbelievably selfish. And you're probably thinking, what do you mean by that? Like, she did everything for Joey. Yeah, no, that's the issue. She only cared about Joey. That's literally all she cared about in the whole entire book. She completely disregarded all of the siblings. You might be just saying, oh, I'm just saying stuff here and there. No, I brought the receipts because I was this upset. I literally highlighted it in my book and wrote, what the? Do you remember when Joey came to Aoife's house and he had like a whole bruised face and he goes like, oh no, don't worry about me, like I'm fine, Shannon's grand. And then Aoife goes, oh no, I wasn't worried about her. Are you kidding me? About her? Did you really have to say that? That's so selfish. You literally know what Shannon has been going through her whole life and you say that? And then another moment that also made me so upset was when Joey was like standing up for himself against Mary and was like, I can't help you on Sunday. That's the only day I have to spend with my girlfriend. Like, he can't take care of like Sean. Aoife gets happy and she kisses him on the cheek. She was like, yeah, that's my boyfriend. He's not leaving you on Sundays or whenever he leaves you. It's not because he wants to. It's because he has like these unfortunate responsibilities that he has to take care of his siblings. So you like being happy for your boyfriend not taking care of his little brother, like that was so weird to me. Okay, there's like so many more I could say, but I'm gonna end it off with one last one. Like, what was the one good thing about Aoife's character is that she wanted Joey to get better. She wanted Joey to quit doing drugs, and I loved her for that. Obviously, like, ultimately the reason why Joey did get better was because of Aoife, right? She was so upset that when Joey called saying that he wanted to stay in rehab for longer and that he needs to, she was upset. don't you want him to get better? Like, unfortunately, your whole plot line was just Joey, and you wanted him to get better, and I loved you for that, sure. But then now you don't want him to stay in rehab because you wanted him for yourself. Like, I was, okay. That was the breaking point for me where I was like, okay, this character was not written well. Okay, but there were stuff that the author was trying to do. Like the whole thing with Aoife's parents, her finding out her father has been cheating on her mother. Why didn't we go into that more? I really wanted her father or her mother to, like, I don't know, resolve that. Why is the mother okay with it? I did not understand, and clearly that affected Aoife's character because she said, like, oh, the reason why she felt okay with her ex-boyfriend before Joey was treating her the way that she was clearly stemming from her parents' relationship. I think Aoife's character deserved so much more than what she was given. Now Joey's character, I honestly have not a single bad thing to say. He was always there for his family, and his family always came first for him. I did not know how serious his drug addiction was in, like, binding and keeping 13, which just shows how much he kept to himself throughout his whole entire life. Every situation he was given, he handled it the best he could, and I have nothing bad to say about this character. Now let's quickly go through the plot of this book. The pregnancy trope. It was the worst thing that could have happened for this book. I absolutely hated it. I feel like it was included in order for Joey to know that he wasn't like his father, because that was his constant fear throughout these 2 books, that he was going to end up like his father. And, like, maybe that pregnancy trope could have worked if Joey was an amazing father. We saw him raising his kid, and we saw him realize that he was nothing like his father, and that everything he was worried about was never going to come true. You know, it would have healed something in me. It would have healed something in Joey, obviously, and it would have been great. So let's start with Claire's character. Once again, similar to Aoife's character, she had no plotline for herself whatsoever. Aside from getting with Gibbsy, there was nothing going on for her in her own life. And I feel like the author struggles with this. Like, if the characters don't have a prominent trauma, the author does not know where to take their own singular character plot lines. And it's true, because Aoife, nothing. Claire, nothing. All they cared about was getting with their boys. I loved Claire's character in all of the other books. Like, I thought she had such a great personality. I was wondering what she was going to go through these books, but we saw nothing. Gibbsy is the sweetest character ever. Although he's so funny and he comes across like, oh, he doesn't care about anything ever, he's always there for his friends, and we saw that in every single one of the books. So I was so excited to see his book, but I did not expect how sad his book was gonna be. I think the author gave him way too much trauma to the point where she couldn't handle it by herself. Like, you know, in the beginning of the book, I thought it was gonna be about how he was gonna deal with his sister and his father's death. But, like, halfway through the book, that whole plot line got completely thrown out, and then she brought up the whole plot line with Kiva and Mark. And it made me so upset, because in the book, it literally said that he blamed himself for his sister and his dad's death. And I was like, okay, that's so unbelievably sad, so untrue, that I thought the author was gonna, you know, eventually make him heal from all of that, but she didn't. She literally did not do anything with that, so that upset me so much. So then I was like, okay, maybe he'll heal from all the trauma he went through because of Kiva and Mark, right? And this book is way too small for him to be healing from that trauma that he went through. And I know that. So I wasn't asking for too much, but just a glimpse of him healing, anything. But I was so sad that by the end of the book, Gibbsy's character was the exact same person as he was in the beginning. In the beginning, he broke my heart with the stuff that he was dealing with. And by the end, I wanted to feel relieved that he finally was starting to be happier. But no, like, he wasn't. Okay, now the plot of Taming 7. Please tell me why we barely got Claire and Gibbsy in this book, and it's their book. I feel like I saw so much more of the other characters than I did of Claire and Gibbsy. Like, it was insane. Like, every other page I would see other characters, and by other characters I mean Lizzie. She showed up way too much in this book. It infuriated me, and it was the same fight over and over and over again. I was so pissed off. Like, the only reason that she hated Gibbsy was why? Because he was related to Mark. It made absolutely no sense. Like, if she actually had a valid argument as to why she hated Gibbsy, maybe I could have tolerated her, but she did not. So her getting brought up literally 99% of the whole book pissed me off. Okay, and I did not like how their relationship progressed throughout this book. Like, I was pleasantly surprised though. Like, in the beginning I was like, oh my god, they're having sleepovers, like, they're so affectionate towards each other. But I feel like the author struggled so much to escalate their relationship past that point. Like, I feel like from the beginning till the end, nothing really happened with the dynamic of their relationship. There was like no catalyst to them getting together. Like, obviously Gibbsy had valid reasons for not getting together with Claire, right? And so I thought there was going to be this moment where Gibbsy realizes that, oh, he can finally get together with Claire. But no, there wasn't. Randomly throughout the book, he decides to get with her, and I was like shocked. I was like, wait, what led to this? And Claire's character just constantly bugging Gibbsy about why he's not taking the next step in the relationship also made me so upset. Like, come on. This series is still by far my favorite series in the whole entire world. I love this universe. I love these characters. I just kind of pretend like all of the bad parts aren't part of it, because you know how we see glimpses of all these characters in all of the other books? So like I have like this idea of them before I actually see their book. Like Eva's character I loved in Biting and Keeping 13. Same thing with Gibbsy and Claire. So like aside from the fact that they got ruined in their own books, they're angels in all of the other books. So I just choose to stick to that in my head when I think about the series. I just needed to rant about this because I don't hear a lot of people talking about it, and I needed to get it off my chest. But yeah, I still highly recommend this series. It's amazing. And thank you for watching my video.